Love Scott Pilgrim. Well, not romantically, of course. It's one of my favorite franchises in media, and the movie is one I always find myself coming back to rewatch. Scott Pilgrim goes through the same kind of journey multiple heroes go through in other stories, and we will be going through every step Scott went through in Joseph Campbell's hero's journey. Scott Pilgrim lives in ordinary Toronto, Canada with his roommate Wallace Wells and is dating high schooler Knives Chow. He plays bass in his band Sex Bomb. One peaceful slumber into Dreamville leads him to a barren desert with nothing but a mysterious girl seen rollerblading. He wakes up with one objective in his mind: to find the girl of his dreams. Scott and his band members go to a party while Scott's there. He begins to investigate who this girl of his dreams may be. He asks Camus, whose entire character is about him knowing everyone, if he knows anyone that had the same kind of hair the girl had. Camus immediately can tell who Scott's talking about. Her name is Ramona Flowers. The first time Scott meets this Ramona Flowers is at the same party he's at. He spends almost all his time after finding out who she is looking for her, and when he's about to give up, he finally sees her standing alone. Scott tries to start up conversation with her, but just ends up embarrassing himself while vowing to never talk to her again. It also doesn't help that her friend Jules forbids him from dating her and mentions she might be dating someone named Gideon. He probably won't be important later on though, right? Scott has one more chance to shoot his shot with Ramona. While on a date with Knives, he learns she works at Amazon delivering packages to the people of Toronto. He places an order and waits at the door for her. When she gets there, he convinces her to go on a date with him. Everything goes well, and they even set up a second date at a battle of the bands where Sex Bomb will be performing. But on the night of the date, things don't start off so well, since alongside Ramona being there, so is Knives. And when it's finally Sex Bomb's turn to perform, Ramona's first evil ex, Matthew Patel, comes crashing down from the sky and challenges Scott to fight for Ramona. He defeats him with some ease, but learns he isn't the only one. There are 6 other evil ex-boyfriends Scott must defeat in order to keep Ramona to himself. Scott finally breaks up with Knives after taking a while to build up the courage for it. He then finds himself fighting Ramona's second evil ex, Lucas Lee. Lucas is much stronger than Matthew, and this is when Scott realizes just how hard it will be to defeat the evil exes league. The only reason Scott even beat Lucas was because he challenged his huge ego and it ended up costing him his life. Despite how scary the future may look, Scott is committed to taking down the evil exes league. Scott continues to go through with beating every ex. He beats Ramona's third ex, Todd Ingram. He has vegan powers that make him really powerful, but Scott was able to revoke those powers by forcing him not to be vegan anymore, and after that, a simple headbutt ends him. With Ramona's fourth evil ex, Roxy Richter, he uses the help of Ramona to both fight and take her down. After, he runs into Ramona's fifth and sixth evil exes, Kyle and Ken Katayanagi. He defeats them through the power of music. The last evil ex Scott has to face is Gideon. Gideon starts off strong and takes Ramona from Scott. But that's not the only thing he tempts Scott with. He gives his band the offer of a lifetime to sell out to Gideon and get signed by a record label. There's also one more thing that comes with the offer. Scott has to leave him and Ramona alone. Scott hesitates and doesn't want anything from Gideon, but of course his band members want the deal and take up Gideon on the offer with no questions asked. Recent events make Scott think about what really holds value in his life. He wonders about his band, Ramona, and himself. He realizes that he truly does want to fight for Ramona and is willing to do anything to get her back. Scott rushes over to where Gideon lies and challenges him to a duel. Everything Scott has gone through leads him to learning the power of self-respect, and this is the one thing he has over Gideon. With his newfound power, Scott is able to finally defeat Gideon and put the Evil X's League to rest. Ramona is very hesitant about getting back with Scott. She says it herself that she doesn't want him getting hurt because of her anymore. Scott tries to accept that she's never coming back. The one to convince Scott to chase after Ramona is Knives, surprisingly. She knows how happy Scott is with her and tells him to run after her before it's too late. Scott finally has the woman he loves the most, without any evil exes to worry about. The film ends as they walk off together through a void-like subspace.